I knew when I left the house this morning it was going to be this incredible fog, this glow over everything. It's so quiet down here. You could hear your heartbeat. This is an 8x10 view camera. It's kind of like my old friend. I'm Daniel Jones and I'm a photographer. When I work in this environment and on a day like today, I don't really think. Now it's very automatic. This blocks out the light. When I look into the back of the camera, which is the ground glass, the image is upside down and backwards. But that's not the way it works. Eventually your brain corrects for it and actually aids in composition. Let's check my light. The boulder behind me is popular for kids to climb up on and jump off. I come and visit it every so often, and the lighting is always different, and the boulder appears to me to be different. I had been to this boat many times, and sometimes I didn't even take a picture. I just looked at it, but this one morning it was just perfect. The boat is pointing out to the unknown. You don't know what's out there. You could go through the veil of the fog, and it could be a sunny day. I live and work mostly in Long Island now. This is where I was born. When I was growing up, I thought I would be an illustrator. I probably started drawing in second grade, and I have the proof right here. This is 10 years later. This is college. This was done with an airbrush. And after college, I needed to start working, so I got a job in a photo studio. Everybody takes pictures, but I thought I could make art, with photography. I learned by doing. This is just fascinating here. As the waves crash over the rock during high tide, the ice slowly builds up, and then it starts to melt, and you get these icicles hanging off.
I always saw him as a rather shy person, yet his voice through his art was loud. I'm Sue Brown Gordon, the director of the Norwalk Art Festival here in Connecticut. When I see Daniel's images, I feel a serene peacefulness. He has a way of photographing that's almost painterly, and it creates a magical, emotional moment that brings the viewer in.
I sell my work at galleries, and I also sell at art fairs. The color work is newer work. This is a lot different than a gallery situation in that I get to meet the people that buy my work. So this is done by panning the camera very fast. They're irises. It's the connection with the person who's buying your work that is worth $1 million, really. They're kind of dreamlike. It's there, but it's not there. Like the ripples on the wave as it breaks. My photographs are, in a way, they're like my children. And when someone is willing to purchase one, I feel like, oh, I wonder if it's going to a good home. I don't have people in my photographs. I find it distracting. I want the viewer of my images to feel like they're there. They're there by themselves. But I have a picture of my daughter Kate, and it's in a forest. She's a little tiny figure in the picture, and she's on a path that kind of winds back into the distance. And really that image was a metaphor for her long journey, because she comes from China, she's adopted. When I'm not taking photographs, I love watching Kate play the violin. I also like watching her do gymnastics. She's very determined, and it's a beautiful sport. This image behind me is called Family Tree. It has a real connection to me because it was an image I shot the day my father passed away. He was in the hospital, but I needed a break. I got home and I got a phone call that my father had passed away. I've since gone back to visit this tree. In an odd way, I feel like I'm visiting with him. This is not the easiest way to make a living. I can't even afford to buy my own work. Luckily, I can just make one.